It's the first week in March, and welcome to my vlog, Chapter 1, Touring with Mum. A while ago, I had a commitment to writing a letter to my mum, and I didn't really plan the next step. But the next step happened anyway, where I had to do some work on the Cape Flats, and I took my mum along. I must warn you though that I'm in a very trendy, very busy space, and I've got minutes in between meetings, and I'm the next meeting, so I might get co-opted very quickly, depending on how busy things are. So here goes, Touring with Mum, Chapter 1. I've always wanted to bring my mom into my space to see what I actually do. I don't think she has an idea of who her son is. That's why I wrote the letter. So I took her along to do 2 networking meetings on a Thursday, Friday. We went to Manenberg, and we went to visit the guys doing the garden, the Verge Garden, and then we went to. I went to go and see the new cafe, Gangster Cafe, and I thought that she'd have an input into both spaces. So when we got to I've got to know her as well. She's much different from what I know her. She's aged and I've aged, and we've missed each other. So when we got to the venue, I picked her up and we got to the venue. It started raining, and she stayed in the car for all the time, and she used 12 tissue pieces, paper tissue bits, to clean the inside of the car. And she spoke about the fact that the car was dirty outside and that the exhaust pipe was blowing. She spoke about that all the time. As soon as I finished my meeting with her, maybe about a week or 2 weeks later, the car is now, exhaust pipe is fixed, the car is cleaned, kind of, and I'm going to try to keep her memory alive of my father by keeping a clean car when I'm with her. Chapter 1. So, Chapter 2. The waste of time journey. The reason why I'm at the food barn is because Frank and I were dreaming together of keeping all the waste in the valley. And months went by, 6, 7, 8 months, a year went by. And he's now called me up and said, can we imagine together again? So I've realized that every waste journey is different for every person. I want to tell you 2 stories of waste and then leave you with a challenge for Chapter 2, waste of time or waste journey. Pastor Shady not only gets it right on a spiritual level, on a societal level, but gets it right on an environmental level as well. 100% of the waste that's generated, the wet waste that's generated from his feeding scheme, goes to a local farmer and feeds pigs and chickens and worms and the like. And it didn't come easy. There was no app for it. I had to do it myself for a bit, put the systems in place and learn as we go. And then I had to document. And then I had to not see myself as a messiah, pull out, so that Einstein could step in and pick up a system that's going. So now it's ticking, it's moving, it's flying. That's a good story of waste. I put out a post that I needed people to give me their human manure, and the right people liked it. And then I got a call. Benson, can you come and sort out our shit? I should have known when that was the invitation, because I see it as a resource, and I will keep seeing it as a resource. When I got to the venue, there was two toilets, and each one had 1,000 litres. So 2,000 litres of resource sitting, waiting. And I didn't want to touch it. I've chosen not to touch it because I think that the person that is in charge of it doesn't see it as part of her body. She sees it as something evil, something beyond the resource. That's a waste of time. Chapter 2 is done. Chapter 3 will be more exciting, I promise. Chapter 3, we nearly didn't make it here, but here we are. Madness and finding God in the church. This is the third week of Lent, started the third week of Lent, and I've committed to asking God to show me where I could clean up my act. And my act needed to be cleaned up, and I'm giving up social media, giving up the usual wine, whiskey, women, all together. Just didn't appeal to me. I needed to be real. I needed to be authentic. And I got up this Sunday morning and decided to head to church. Went to St. Norbert's in Komiki, and when I got there, the Indian minister said, "Amen." I got the time wrong. So I missed that boat and spent the next 2 hours in a coffee shop and had a conversation with one person, because there were two things I needed to do to deal with the fact that my kids were saying that they think I'm going mad. My wife too, is that I needed to have a meaningful conversation with one person, and I needed to be in a group of people. So those are the two reasons I chose to go to church. Giving up something. I've made a list here of things that make me angry, and I'm going to ask God to forgive me for being angry all the time, especially with Jessie and her Zimbabwean people who see me as white, and who they just piss me off for reasons that I don't know. There's got a lot of that going on in my head. So Lord, forgive me for being angry at Jessie. Forgive me for being angry at Sarah. Sarah's white, and she's privileged, and she drives a big fancy car, and she hasn't examined her privilege. She doesn't know what an EFT is. E-wallet is. Sorry, she knows what an e-wallet is. She hasn't heard of e-wallet yet. Lord, forgive me for disliking Sarah. For taxi drivers, for faith leaders, for coffee shop owners, other people who treat people badly. Forgive me. And also forgive me for treating Katie badly. We inherited Katie. She's partially blind and deaf. She follows me everywhere I go. Katie, I'll try to be a better dog owner. My kids, I need to be less angry with them, and if you can hold me to account for that, would be useful. I want to be less angry and more cordial. So help me God, I'm out. Chapter 4, the last chapter. I thought we'd be done by now. I'm going to be nicer to my kids. I'm going to be nice to Katie. I'm going to strive towards being a justice warrior. And I am going to give up social media. I'm going to try and post less and read less. And I'm going to put my phone down for at least 1 hour per day, starting today. Thanks for listening. Cheers.